Good evening, everyone. Today is April 6th, the start of Holy Week, and a really exciting time for all of us. Thank you all so much for joining us. This is our weekly Zoom class. We have a lot to cover today. There are a lot of monthly specials, and I want you to keep in mind when you're hearing all the specials that doTERRA is giving us these products because they love us, and they want to make sure that the things that we're learning and the products that we have available for us are going to support us now in our time of need. So in addition to the traditional products that we all know about, we're going to be learning today about some of the products that maybe you hadn't been thinking about before, and maybe were not on your radar screen, that you had I don't know, forgotten about them or not used them in the past, or not used them, excuse me, at all. And so I'm gonna get started right away. I'm gonna ask you please to have a paper and pencil ready, because some of the things that I'm gonna talk about, I'm actually not gonna have slides for. I'm going to show you an image, and then I'm gonna just kind of talk over the image. So I want you to be ready. If you could possibly, I'm gonna give you a minute now. You can do this, of course, on your phone, or you can do it on your screen. Whatever you wish, if you want to take notes, but I'm going to be talking over the slides, and I think this is going to provide you with very valuable information that you're going to need over the next few weeks. So let's get started. Let me share my screen with you. There we go. Okay, so those of you who don't know me, I'm Elena Jordan, and this is our weekly get-together with our team. This is the Yo Oils team, and we're very happy that you're here to join us. And for those of you who are going to be listening later on, please consider subscribing below. And if you've liked our show, please post something in the comments. I want to say, as always, thank you to our presidential time and team. This is the team that gets everything ready for us and make sure that we are just basically putting on a presentation every single week. Okay, today I'm going to give you some fresh tips for essential oils. We're all looking for some fresh tips. I think some of you may be going back to the same information or the same oils that you've used 100 or 1,000 times. And while those are great, I want you to really challenge your body. And I love the things that doTERRA is suggesting for us for our monthly specials, because for me, they really represent a wide range of things that will help us to stay healthy during this time. Okay, as always, the ideas expressed in this presentation are taken primarily from the book Essential Oils Healthcare for Today. The other book that I use almost exclusively, so I use two books, my own, of course, and the Essential Life book, and I finally have a good image of it. This is the 6th edition, the most recent. And in addition to that, there is an app now available for Apple and Android phones. And you can see when you click on it, the bottom right figure is what you're going to come to. That's the first screen. And you're going to be able to type in that search bar. I know it's a little fuzzy, but it gives you a good idea, searching for something, and you can type in an illness or a specific essential oil. If you have an essential oil and you're not sure how to use it, this is a great resource. The app itself on your phone is like that little green rectangle or square, if you were the rounded square, with the leaf in the middle. So as you're searching for apps, don't just get any essential oil app, get the Essential Life app. And I don't get any money for promoting this app, folks. So really, this is just trying to give you a great resource. If you don't have this resource, it is worth it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it costs about $4 US dollars. So about $6 Sing dollars, which I think is pretty worth it. So keep this in mind. Okay, we're going to talk first of all about our April monthly specials. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to go get your paper and pencil if you don't have it yet. That also gave me a second to turn off two. I had, and many of you know, my office is in a lower level in my house and can get a little bit chilly. So I turned off my heater and I turned off my kind of loud diffuser, not super loud, but it tends to interfere with the audio. And I want to make sure we have crystal clear audio right now. Okay, so we're starting with the USA. And many of our cities right now are under siege, and we're on virtual lockdown, not complete lockdown. If you are near New York, Chicago, San Francisco, Boston, or you're in Louisiana, or any of the other places that are being hit really hard, our prayers go out to you. I live outside of New York in one of the New York suburbs. We are fine, thank goodness, and sort of obeying regulations and rules and trying to stay in our house. First up on our hit parade is Clementine. These are the US specials. So we're going to talk a little bit about Clementine, and then we're going to talk successively about each of the oils that are being offered as specials. And I want you to take a few notes, if you will. So Clementine, very similar to tangerine. It is antioxidant. It is an immune booster. It can also be a cell protectant. It can help you with sleep issues, whether you're feeling nervous or you're feeling a little bit upset, more upset than usual. Clementine is a terrific oil for you. Maybe you are overthinking some things. Maybe you're feeling a little bit stuck. Clementine is also a wonderful oil. You can consider diffusing it, inhaling it, of course, from your cupped hands, rubbing it across your forehead. Now, I'm only suggesting rubbing it across your forehead because most of us are not going out in the sun. But if you are going to go out in the sun, rub it perhaps on the back of your neck or on the soles of your feet. But it is a wonderful way to kind of alleviate that mental going over that we can do sometimes when we don't have the opportunity to go do something else. It is also very good for the skin and terrific for any sort of scalp condition. So if you tend to have a very dry scalp and that can be uncomfortable, it might be a little bit itchy, you can add this either add it into your shampoo, apply it directly. Don't want to go crazy. You want to use between 1 and 4 drops. Last but not least, for those of you who are feeling like I may be eating a little bit too much right now because I'm stuck in the house all the time, Clementine is a wonderful metabolism support. And we just want to make sure that we're taking it, if we're going to take it for metabolism support, we can rub it actually into any areas of concern that may be not looking their best right now because we're feeling, I'm always in sweatpants, and then when I go out in the spring or the summer with my shorts or my skirt or whatever, some of those parts that are exposed aren't going to look as beautiful as I would like. So consider rubbing it into some of your wiggly bits, if you will. And then also you can take it in a capsule or in water. And Clementine is very delicious, so not very easy to take in water. Okay, yarrow palm. Now, I'm not going to read you specifically about palm, but I'm going to talk to you about yarrow and why we want to take yarrow at this time. Remember, we're talking about oils and we're talking about kind of the generosity and the thoughtfulness of doTERRA and why they're giving us these products at this time. So you can read here, great for the skin, terrific for looking healthy on the go, antioxidant support. You're going to be taking these 2 capsules a day. But when we talk about yarrow specifically, you want to make sure that you are using it again for fatigue or upset or any kind of sadness that you may be having. That can help you a lot. If you are combating or concerned about any viruses that may be in our environment, this could be a wonderful capsule for you as well. Here's the last thing I want to mention to you. When right now where I live, allergy season is starting. Allergy season can have very similar effects in the body, similar symptoms, if you will, to some of the other illnesses that we are struggling with at this time. Things like congestion in the chest or watery eyes or nose or feelings of sadness or even feeling a little bit itchy or different sorts of symptoms that can mimic closely what we're feeling from this other pandemic that we are dealing with. I don't want you to suffer unnecessarily and suffer mentally because you're afraid, oh my gosh, I've been indoors for so many weeks and now all of a sudden I've contracted this terrible disease. Please take a deep breath. Take your Yarrow Pom capsules. It can help you to alleviate some of those symptoms that you may be feeling or you may be feeling soon as our pollen begins to circulate in our air, our trees begin to blossom. So if you're a person who in general is concerned with seasonal allergies, this is something that you might want to look into. Okay, Melissa. Okay, so in my book, Melissa and frankincense are the powerhouses of oils. Melissa gets overlooked a lot, first of all, because it's very expensive. People feel like, I don't know if I want to invest in Melissa, but I have to tell you, I have about 4 or 5 bottles of Melissa, and I have been diffusing them day and night. And many of you know that I actually came from the other essential oil company, and there were a lot of discussions with the founder at that time, and I know this is kind of an odd conversation to bring up now, but about the power of Melissa. We know that Melissa is steam distilled. It's actually one of those plants that's very difficult to steam distill and get a viable amount of essential oil from the plant material. Now, many of you may have Melissa. In the United States, it's called lemon balm. You may have it in your backyard. If you do, you'll see that it tends to wilt fairly easily. And if you pick it, even though it smells lovely and you can maybe throw it in a cake or some sort of a dish, it just melts down to nothing. And that's part of the problem when we try to steam distill it. But Melissa is a powerhouse. And I feel like I want to invest in my family right now. My investment in my family includes diffusing Melissa. And yes, I am diffusing Melissa day and night. And some of you may be thinking, ka-ching, ka-ching. Yes, that may be so. But I also want to remind you that I prefer not to go to a hospital right now. And if I can keep myself healthy and my family healthy, here's the other thing I'm going to mention. I have had a couple of days where we haven't, let's say we haven't remembered to diffuse in our house for whatever reason. We were diffusing, maybe the diffuser ran out of water, or we shut it off, or like now I shut off my diffuser because I'm talking to all of you, and maybe I walk out of the room and I don't remember that I have to turn it back on again. What happens? I really see a decline in the mood of everybody in my house. So remember what that can look like. Decline in mood. It can come out as anger, frustration, fear. We don't want to feed into any of those emotions right now. Use your Melissa, folks. If you have one, this is the time to crack it out. Don't save it for a rainy day. The rainy day has come. We want to use it to combat things like extra heat that we may be feeling in our forehead. If we're not feeling healthy, we may want to use it to combat viruses, especially anything that's on our surfaces. We can use it for sadness, shock. We can also use it for that feeling of seasonal allergies or that seasonal discomfort. We can use it for that, but I like it because I feel like it's a strong support for my immune system and my moods right now and for my family. And I'm managing a family of 5. And as you know, we have different age groups. We have teenagers and we have elderly and we have sort of, my husband and me who are right in the middle. And I want to make sure that everybody stays really sane and healthy and feeling good throughout this. I don't want us to walk out on the last day and feel like we've been shell shocked. We have to strengthen ourselves, strengthen our families. Okay, you've all heard in the US at least about the Precious Florals Mother's Day Kit, including rose, neroli, jasmine, magnolia, and blue lotus. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about blue lotus, but I'm also going to remind you about some of your flower oils and why they are important to you right now. Okay, so blue lotus is sourced in Southeast Asia. Thank you for everyone who's in Southeast Asia. Only the head of the blue lotus flower is used to make this essential oil. The flower has a low yield and thus is difficult to source in large quantities. So low yield can mean 2 things. It can mean that there just are not a lot of blossoms. It can also mean that it's a relatively dry material, which means that when it is steam distilled, it is not juicy and doesn't give us a lot of oil. In this case, it is not steam distilled. It is created as an absolute. So cultivating, harvesting, and extracting blue lotus oil is a true labor of love. Blue lotus is very rare, and it is very commonly, what should we say, not adulterated, but it's just copied. People try to make copies in the in laboratories all the time. So if you've ever seen it in a perfume, you've ever heard about it in a perfume, it is probably not real. But this, folks, is the real deal. Let's go on. Let's talk about our different markets. For everyone in Singapore, I'm reaching out to you. I know many of you, the office is not open or not going to be open soon. I want to make sure that you know that I'm here to support you. And we're actually going to tag the mentoring call onto the end of this call. I want to make sure that everybody gets the support that they need. Okay, our promos this month in Singapore are the Deep Blue Duo for 200 PV promotion, 10% off on Response X, and finally Palmarosa. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Palmarosa. And Palmarosa actually is a lovely essential oil. It is antiseptic and also has some lovely antiviral properties. It's good for maintaining moisture and balance in the body. Again, we're talking about emotional balance, physical balance, rich in anti-aging properties. And we want to think about fighting things like fatigue or low spirits. That's why I want to use my Palmarosa oil. You can use it cosmetically, of course, but you do want to try to use it medicinally. I would use it topically. If I were you, I would maybe diffuse it and I would apply it on the soles of my feet. We want to calm the mind. We want to have clear thinking, and we want to combat physical and nervous exhaustion. So these are our beautiful specials, as you can see, and here's our little, our flower bower rising up over our specials. I actually love this. I have someone who's helping me with my presentations now, and she does a beautiful job. So shout out to Sophia, who's giving us a lot of those gifts and things and kind of perking us all up and helping us to feel like, wow, this is a great time to be alive. So let's talk a little bit about rose. And I know you know about these specials. This is an enrollment special. You can earn the rose, the jasmine, or the hinoki. So let's talk first about rose. We know that rose is excellent for the skin. We heard Emily Wright at the convention talking about her daughter who had a very severe wound that was getting worse and worse. And had she not been able to use her rose, her daughter might have had to go to the hospital. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to have to go to any hospital if I can help it, at least not right now. So use your rose to protect your skin. Here's the other thing. We want to use our rose for nervous issues. So if you are feeling very nervous right now, your flower oils in general are terrific for that sense of, I can't settle down. I don't know what to do. Or maybe even I'm bored out of my mind. Use it judiciously, of course, but diffuse, diffuse, diffuse. A few drops of rose oil in a water-based diffuser can be a wonderful way for you to uplift your mood. This is the time for you to crack out your expensive, powerful oils. I'm going to repeat that. So things like your helichrysum, your melissa, your rose, don't save them. This is not a museum. This is the time to use them. And it's interesting that doTERRA is telling you the same thing. So I'm just singing from the same song sheet that they are. Emotional balance. All of your flower oils are great for emotional balance. Let's talk a little bit about hinoki, because we haven't talked about hinoki in the past. I have a few, many of you know that hinoki comes from an evergreen that is grown primarily in Japan. It has a sort of a woody and sweet smell. For those of you in the US who've never smelled it, you're not going to be able to get it now, so don't start salivating. And I don't have any extra bottles. There was a special a couple of months ago, if you remember, in the US for the 125 PV special. If you have a bottle of hinoki, now's the time to bring it out. Hinoki is wonderful for breathing issues. So if you're a person who had a previous breathing issue and you want to make sure sure that it is not triggered at this time, or your person who has a current breathing issue, you can use your hinoki. Put it again in your water-based diffuser. It is also an anti-inflammatory. It can be great for nervous feelings. It can be an immune stimulant, and it has possible neuroprotective effects. So hinoki, terrific oil. If you have it, you have your rare oils. Folks, this is your time to use your rare oils. Okay, response X. Now, I hope that no one is getting cuts and scrapes and burns and things, but living at home and daily life, we never know. Use your response X. In the US, it's called Correct X. It is petroleum-free and preservative-free and absorbs quickly. If you find that some people react to upsetting situations by having skin eruptions, and that can be on their face or on their hands or other parts of their body, Response X is a wonderful way to calm down the skin. If I have one message for today, it is to stay calm. So we want to use everything within our power to maintain our mental, emotional, and spiritual health right now. Okay, Palmarosa, I already talked to you about. It is soft and floral and has an uplifting aroma. You can use it on your face, but some of the other suggestions that I gave you will also help you right now. It has a similar chemical constituency to rose, citronella, and geranium. So if you don't have Palmarosa, or you don't wind up getting it, I hope you do, because you still have time. Today's only the 6th. You can use your rose, your citronella, or your geranium as substitutes. And if you don't have any of these oils, I want to encourage you to go back to the chemistry wheel, which I've taught here many times, and look up, okay, don't have this, what else can I use? Okay, deep blue. I don't really have to talk to you about deep blue, but many of us are exercising a lot more now, which is terrific. We're getting out, we're walking, we're doing exercises at home, we're watching exercise videos. But if you're not accustomed to exercising on a regular basis, you may have sore muscles and aches and pains. Yesterday, I actually decided to start a small routine doing some push-ups. Now, I am a regular exerciser and I do get out, but I'm not a push-up person at all. And I have to say my shoulders this morning are aching. And so I'm going to be using my deep blue really soon. But I just want you to keep it in mind. If you're exercising and you feel achy, don't suffer through it. Use your deep blue. Okay? Adaptive. If you've never used Adaptive before, this is a wonderful time to start. This is our product that supports our emotional health, containing lavender, magnolia, neroli, sweet gum, wild orange, and spearmint essential oils. It complements effective work and study. And of course, if you are working and studying in your house for the first time, or you're doing it with other people that used to not be there, this is the time for you to crack out your Adaptive. It also is very relaxing in a bath. We want to use it in hand with our Copaiba. So you can apply it, you can use it in your diffuser, and take your Copaiba soft gel at the same time. Okay, last but not least, Lumo diffuser. We're still in Singapore, folks. I know we've got a lot of specials this month, but I'm going to get through them, and I'm going to talk to you about another couple of things. I'm hoping that as I'm talking and you're listening, you feel like you're getting good content, that I'm not just reading off a slide. My goal always when we do these monthly specials is to help you understand why you need the special right now. So if you don't have a diffuser, you don't have a Lumo diffuser, this is one of the most powerful ones that we have. It not only runs for many hours, 2 to 5 hours continuously, or 10 hours intermittently. I do like the way the mist comes out of this diffuser, and I actually have one of these in my living room right now. I alternate it with a petal that I have and a couple of others. I have an Aroma Ace going in my house, and I also have a little sort of personal diffuser from Japan, which is actually, many of you have seen. If you're interested, contact me. That little diffuser has been a workhorse. I've had it in the kitchen right next to my kitchen sink, just going constantly, because probably like you, we're washing a lot of dishes and we're in that kitchen all the time. Okay, Malaysia. My heart goes out to Malaysia. I know that many of you are on lockdown. You're concerned about family and friends. I've been texting a lot of you. Some of you have family in Malaysia and you can't go to visit them. Family specifically that may not be feeling well right now and you'd like to be by their side. Please know that I'm praying for you and for your family members. You may have family members that are in the health professions, nurses and doctors, and this is very concerning. And so for all of you who are on this line, please keep Malaysia in your prayers. We want to make sure that they get through this time quickly and with a lot of good renewed health at the end of it. Okay, the In Bloom promotion. So we saw the enrollment promotion already, and we know about the In Bloom. We talked about Hinoki, we talked about Rose. So now I'm going to give you a little bit about jasmine really quickly. So let's talk quickly about jasmine. I love, love, love the smell of jasmine. For anybody on the line who is not muted, if you could just check that you're muted. I do hear someone. I don't want to stop the presentation. I know you're all trying to be so super quiet, but if you could just check for me, that would be so wonderful. Thank you so much. Jasmine. So now any sadness again or anxious feelings you may be having, exhaustion. So many of us are doing 2 and 3 different jobs. We may be doing more than we ever did before. You're cooking more, you're cleaning more, you're helping other people, you are maybe homeschooling, maybe you have more concerns. Your concerns may be financial, they may be health related. They may be about people that are not in your constant care. You used to be able to see or touch or feel or hug people. And right now you can't. So I want you to really crack out your jasmine. Use it to support your emotions. The other thing that I'm going to mention to you about jasmine, and maybe this is on a happy note, jasmine can support low libido. It can also help with fertility issues. So if you are, and this may seem too personal, but I'm going to throw it out there, if you are home with your significant other and you have been trying to have a baby, now is your time to use your jasmine. You're alone a lot, you're in a house. I imagine we're going to have some post-COVID-19 babies, and I welcome them with open arms. I can't wait to see all the babies. But stay emotionally balanced. That's what we need right now. That's the most important thing. But reach out to the people that are around you in trust and also in love and kindness. Okay, we've got our deep blue. And then again, we talked about clementine, but we talked about tangerine in relationship to it having the similar properties to tangerine. So I'm not going to go through tangerine, but we do know it's an emotional uplifter, great for focus, and also terrific for cleansing. Eucalyptus. Now, we haven't talked about eucalyptus before, and I think it's important for us to mention. It is only available right now as a special in Malaysia, but many of you have eucalyptus. You want to use it, of course, for any sort of congestion or cough, anything having to do with the lungs. We can apply it to the front of our body, to our chest, to our back. We can use it in a diffuser. We can use it to help protect us from viruses. We can use it for any sort of respiratory issues. We can also use it for muscle and fatigue and pain. So here's my message also. When you think about essential oils, and for those of you who are hearing from other people, doTERRA is expensive, and we're going to talk about this at the end. Encourage them to maybe, or make a copy of one of these pages from one of these books. Look at all the uses you can get from one single bottle. I don't know of any product on the market that you can get so many uses from a single bottle of essential oil. And eucalyptus is one of those very economical products. As we can see here, it's only 78 ringgit, which is a terrific price for a product that goes a long, long way. Here's our Mother's Day promotion available in Malaysia, the Precious Florals kit. I have to say, I ordered my Precious Florals kits already. I got 4 on my own account right away. They will sell out. So if you're interested in this kit, if you think it's something you want to try, all of the oils are available in 4 milliliter roll-ons. and they are diluted with fractionated coconut oil. So this is not pure oil, it's diluted with fractionated coconut oil, but I think it is well worth the investment. Okay, finally, Philippines. Again, Philippines, a country that is on lockdown, and I have several friends in the Philippines. We have a lot of team members from the Philippines. Some of you I know are on this call. I wish I could give you all a very big hug. I have friends in the cities, and I have friends out in the provinces in different islands, and they're all saying the same thing. The Philippine office is doing a Herculean effort to try to get you your products. Instead of, the office is now closed or closed for the time being, and the office workers are going into the warehouse to try to package those orders and get them out. And every day I'm getting accounts from the account managers telling us how many packages went out today, how many were delivered. So they are working day and night. And our general manager there, Michael Carson, is a really strong presence. He's done some very cute videos with his family just to try to keep spirits up. So if you're in the Philippines, please know that I'm with you. One of our big leaders there, who goes back and forth between the US and the Philippines, is a medical doctor, and many of his medical doctor friends are really suffering. So we want to make sure that we're praying for all of our team members during this time. I also want to mention to you that I will be on, and I'll be posting this in the chats when it gets a little bit closer, but I will be on a Zoom call with the Philippines on the 23rd of April. So if you're going to be around on the 23rd of April, I will be on a Zoom call and you'll be able to hear me. And I'll be talking about actually finances. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about finances. You know, that's like my favorite thing, like how to keep track of your money. So today is no different. Purify. Okay, so for those of you who don't know Purify, or Purify is not available in your market, or it has a different name, I'm going to just talk about it briefly here. I have to say, Purify is not my favorite smell. It really is not. But now that I have to be outdoors and kind of keeping myself clean and keeping my hands clean, it is a great way for me to really cleanse, and it's called a cleansing blend, right? I'm able to cleanse any surfaces. I'm able to cleanse my hands. So for, of course, indoors for your air and getting rid of any odors. It's great for discouragement. You can use it for surface cleaning. So you can use it in your kitchen or bathroom for kitchen countertops. I have also added it into a spray with alcohol and use that instead of On Guard as I'm coming and going in and out of supermarket or pharmacy. I'm sort of the person that's been elected to do the shopping for the family just because. And I'm using my Purify. I've mixed up a couple of different batches of hand sanitizer when I had more ingredients, and we're using them. We have them in our 2 cars. And whenever somebody has to go out, they use them between stops. And then once again, before coming in the house, again, washing our hands and taking all sorts of precautions. Lemongrass. I actually love lemongrass. I'm sure many of you do. I love it in cooking. I love the flavor. I love the aroma. It has kind of that lemony, spicy scent to it, very distinct, but I love lemongrass, and I do try to include it in my food when I possibly can. Lemongrass is great for any sort of muscular aches or discomforts. You can take it if you have any I'm trying to say this compliantly, folks. How can I do this? Circulatory issues with your blood. And you know that my husband has some of those circulatory issues, and you may too. You can also take them to support your bladder and your urinary tract. Anything having to do with water in the body. So lemongrass is a terrific way for you to take any of those things. But you want to think of circulation and also support for joints, tendons, and ligaments. I know that was really as good as I could get it, folks. I hope you're getting my message. I'm trying to give you a lot of compliant information, which is why I'm encouraging you to go to the book, because I am reading and referring to the book frequently, but I don't want to get online and speak about this out loud because this is going, as we know, this is being recorded. It will go up on YouTube, and I don't want it to be taken down. I really want it to stay where it needs to be so that it can be a resource for many, many people. And finally, Aroma Touch. Yes, we're at the end. I know this has been a long presentation. We want to think of Aroma Touch for muscle aches and pains or discomforts, anything having to do with, again, circulation in the body. This is used for massage a lot. This is actually our massage oil blend. And so anything having to do with maybe coldness in the extremities or any sort of muscle discomforts, soreness. So this is your 1-2 punch, your Aroma Touch and your Deep Blue. And if you're going to give yourself a massage or give someone else a massage, maybe someone in your family really needs a massage at this time, be generous with them. Okay, so you can mix any of these oils that we've suggested in fractionated coconut oil. You can also put them in our hand and body lotion. It is unscented, and it's a terrific way to just kind of change it up. You can add a drop or two and use as a body moisturizer and really smell delicious, or you can use it in a substitute for a fractionated coconut oil. I actually do presentations at a local massage school on a regular basis, and they use the lotion instead of fractionated coconut oil. They say that their customers like it better, that it absorbs more quickly, and when the customers go to get dressed at the end of a massage, they're actually happy that they don't feel too greasy. Okay, our favorite bottles, we know that you can now get them individually in the Philippines. These were some oils that were not available previously, and they are available now. And finally, our enrollment promotion is the same as it was in our other 3 markets. Whoops, last thing, oh my gosh, we really have a lot of slides. For every single purchase, and I think this is because the Philippine General Management clearly understands that people are under duress. They're trying to get their orders to you and really doing whatever they can. For every single purchase with PV in April, you get 5 free points. So you're going to get additional points for things that you purchase, and just keep that in mind. They're trying to offset a little bit some of the difficulties with deliveries and obviously these 2 ladies are not in the Philippines, otherwise they would not be sitting. Maybe they're sisters. Let's say they're sisters and they live in the same house and they're just having a good old time. Okay, so this is my message of hope. So that's the end of my traditional presentation. And I'm actually going to, I think, take a pause here. If there's anybody who wants to jump off at this point or feels that this is not important to them or prefers not to get mentoring at this time, I completely understand. You just wanted to find out about the essential oils, and I get that. And I hope that everything that I've been able to talk to you about up until this point has also been hopeful, because I have not lost hope. And while I am a realist, I think, in terms of understanding that this could go on for a while, I am not deluding myself into thinking that we're all going to run out of our houses tomorrow and that everything is going to be exactly the same. So please know that my message to you is one of hope, and that I'm here this morning also because I'm excited about the future, and I'm excited about looking into the future, because our future is not gone. It has just changed. And so that's my hopeful message for you. So ordinarily I would be having this mentoring call at the top of the hour at 10 a.m. But instead of starting at 10 a.m., I'm going to start it now, because I think it's important that we all sort of have our injection of hope, if you will, and then we're all able to go out and start our days. I'm actually going to be getting on another call at 10 a.m. My time, so in about 8 to 10 minutes. I just want to make sure that all of you understand that I hear you, and I know firsthand what you are going through. So let's talk a little bit about, and this is maybe a touchy subject or something you haven't heard any of your leaders talk about before, and I'm going to broach it. And I know that some of you are struggling financially, and I want to talk to you about your financial situation and be really real with you. I'm going to just take off the gloves, kind of roll up my sleeves, and if I could sit with you one-on-one, knee to knee, and look into your eyes, this is the same message that I would be talking to you about. Okay, so this is our message of hope, and I want to talk to you about finances. We've all been worrying about finances lately due to this pandemic, and we can, in general, fall within three categories. So the three categories are as follows. You may have lost your job or your main source of income. Perhaps you live alone. You had been working at another job and using doTERRA only intermittently, or you had been sharing only from time to time, but your main source of income has now basically changed drastically. You're no longer able to go into your office. Maybe you've been completely laid off and you're looking for a secondary source of income. The second category that you may fall into is you're doing okay, but you are worried about your future finances. Now, this could be a family of two. Let's say it's a husband and wife. Maybe they have one child. Maybe mom is a teacher, and maybe dad drives a truck for one of the delivery services, whether it's FedEx or UPS or DHL. So they're both stable. They both have an income, but they're worried. They're trying to protect their health. They have a lot of extra things on their plate, and their bills have not gone away, but the likelihood is that their jobs are stable. So this is our second category. Those are the people that maybe have been, as I said, using and sharing doTERRA intermittently, and are thinking, is this something that I could incorporate it a little bit more widely to be able to help other people? And the third group, and I hope that most of you are in this group, but I really don't know because we don't talk this personally usually, that you are financially stable but still worried about future finances. If you are financially stable, if you are a person who has scrimped and saved and put aside money for this rainy day that has finally come, I do not discount the fact that all of our investments have gone down. And even if you had a nest egg, the financial markets have declined, and you may be looking at those numbers and weeping. Please know that I am with you and I feel for you completely. And none of us is immune to being worried or upset or feeling frail in this time. But you are in a category that is the most secure, the third group. You're on the most secure. If you are selling or sharing or using doTERRA on a regular basis, I'm going to ask you to move up one level, especially if you're in this final group, because your finances are not as concerning as the other two groups. And this is your time to step out in leadership. This is the time, if you're in that third group, that you can step out in leadership for other people. And so I'm going to keep going. I have another few slides, and I just want to talk to you about what I'm thinking and how maybe I can help you, how your leaders can help you, and how we can keep going through this pandemic. So the reality of the first situation, right? So I'm going to get heavy here, and then hopefully I'm going to lighten up a little bit. So the prices of food, medicine, and other necessities, those four walls of security are going up. So what are our four walls of security, right? I don't know if you know what the four walls of security are, and the four walls of security are actually taken, or that concept are taken from a presentation that I saw by a wonderful man named Dave Ramsey. I followed him for years. He's a financial guru. He works with his daughter, Rachel Cruz. Rachel Cruz actually spoke at one of the leadership conventions in the US several years ago. You may remember, you may have been there. The four walls of security are your food, your shelter, your transportation, and your utilities. So food, if you're in the house all day, you're going to have to make maybe some budgeting choices. And especially if you're in that first group, what types of foods do you need? How can you cut? What do you already have available? Shelter, how are you paying your rent or paying your mortgage? You want to make sure that you can keep a roof over your head right now. Your transportation. So hopefully you're not having to go out and commute to work, but you could be if you're in that second category. The other thing is, if you have a car, you may want to consider, and you don't have to leave your house, just kind of leaving it in your garage. Make sure that you're starting up your car at least once a week or so, and maybe driving it around the block, because we don't want all of our engines to go stale. as we leave our cars and don't drive around as much as we should. And finally, your utilities. You're going to need your internet, you need your electricity, you need your heat, you need your water. Make sure that those 4 necessities are paid for. That's your first priority. So if you're in that first category and you're out of work right now, those are the first 4 things, your 4 walls of security. Now, are you ready to face this? Now, where does doTERRA fit in all of this? So I would say that doTERRA essential oils can be one of your 4 walls of security. And the reason why is because they fall clearly into that wall of food/medicine. So if you are able to use your essential oils now to get through part of this crisis without going out to purchase additional things, that can be a huge savings for you. And I'd like you to either contact me or your upline if you absolutely are missing a certain essential oil that you need to survive. If you're in that first category and you hear me clearly, I want to make sure that you have the essential oils that you need to survive. They are an investment in your health, and you can't afford to lose your health right now. You want to make sure that you're protecting your health. And this investment is a multi-purpose tool that you can use daily. Not just you, but everyone in your family. So we're using our essential oils for multiple uses. We talked about in the presentation using eucalyptus, which is a relatively inexpensive oil. I also want you to think about things like On Guard or your Breathe or your Easy Air, products that can be used on every member of your family. They can be used lemon oil, all of your citrus oils, multiple ways, and can also be used very effectively. So when you think about your friends, when you think about the people that you know, who are the people that you know and what categories do they fall in? Are they in that first category where maybe both husband and wife have lost their job, or they were a single and they lost their job? Or are they in an industry that they're working day and night, but maybe they don't have the support that they need? Healthcare workers, factory workers, restaurant workers, police, firemen, those people are working day and night and they need to stay healthy. We know that On Guard, and I'm using this as our favorite example because it's definitely one of our favorite oils. You can make a cleaning spray, which we know is all in very high demand right now. We can use it to boost immunity for kids and adults, taking away the needs for additional medications. And it can be also used to clear the air and support lung function. Gets rid of buying extra medicine, cleaning products, and air fresheners. So if you haven't had the opportunity to have honest conversations with your friends in a thoughtful, kind way, and please know that the information that I'm telling you now comes from the bottom of my heart. And I hope that no one is offended by anything that I'm saying. I think it is our opportunity, especially if you're in a stable category, to step out in faith and in leadership for the people that you know. And here's my last stand. Where do you stand right now? Is your community reaching out to you about natural alternatives to protect themselves and their families? If they are, please be bold enough to step into that conversation with them. Do not be afraid. Now, some people will push back and tell you essential oils are too expensive, or I can't buy essential oils right now. I firmly believe that many of the people that are saying this are people that may never use essential oils, because if you can't use essential oils now, I don't know when you would use them. I am so grateful for this product and grateful that my family has incorporated it into our daily lives for years and years and years. And I know that it is supporting our health and always has. Are there people around you perhaps who are interested in sharing the products, ready to dive in right now into the business, but don't have the means to do so? Can you do some sort of a sponsorship for them? Can you tell them that you'll provide them with some samples or another way for them to set up their account? Can you share with others so that they can become independent until they are independent on their own? This is what charity is all about. We help others until they become independent on their own. And how can you and I, working together, help our community right now? So I'm open to ideas. I'm open to suggestions. I'd love to hear some of them in the chat. I'd love to know what you all are talking about with your communities. I want to hear where you are. So I'm going to open up the chat in a minute because this is my last slide. But two other things. I want you to consider supporting someone you know who is struggling and wants to jump into being a wellness advocate. And then last but not least, please know that I'm here to support you, and think, how can I support you? Can I support your team? Can I support you individually? Right now, we have a lot of people going through Diamond Club who are reaching out. I am amazed at the way people are reaching out in Diamond Club. I really am. Despite quarantine, despite not being able to get on planes, despite not being to visit people, the people that are in Diamond Club really rock right now. They are working super hard and they're stepping out in leadership. So wherever you are, whether you are in your house or minding children or getting out every day, please know that I'm with you, and that I know that, and I trust that this group that's listening to this message right now, that you are stepping out in leadership because you know how and you've been trained, and this is your moment. So here's my final disclaimer. I want you to know I care deeply about your financial situation. I do not want you to spend any money that you cannot afford. I do not want you to go into debt starting a new doTERRA business, but I do want to support anyone whose community or family is reaching out to them for help in their health journeys at this point in our lives and during this difficult time. Okay, so I hope that helps somebody out there. I hope it helped everybody who's listening. I'm going to show you a couple of other slides because this is actually a poignant moment right now, because we're going into, for me, many of you know that I am a Catholic, a Christian, and we're going into a very reflecting time. So actually, let's last but not least, I want you to check out, if you possibly can, the Vision Driven Leader. 10 questions to focus your efforts, energize your team, and scale your business by Michael Hyatt. I am actually going to be giving away 2 of these books today. So that's my giveaway for today. And I'm going to have to mail them, I know, but I have them right here in front of me. I bought several cases of these books to be able to do some promos. I'm going to be offering them online for different people. So I have one of the first copies, as you can see in the photograph there, and I want to make sure that as a leader, you're able to step out and really envision what's your next steps, where are you going, because people follow people with vision. Okay, as always, many of the things I've talked about today are going to be recorded and uploaded to various social media sites. I'd love to keep in contact with you. Many of you are texting me and sending me messages through Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn, and I want to keep that conversation going. Okay, remember, you are amazing, not just because you're here, not just because you're listening to this message, but because whatever you're doing step by step, day by day, you're really doing powerful work. Okay, so let's talk about the week ahead, and this is important, and this is kind of my final message at the very end, and I know I've been talking and talking for so long, probably your ears are falling off at this point. The week ahead for me is called Holy Week, and yesterday was Palm Sunday. Palm Sunday is one of the holiest days in the Christian church. Thursday, actually, so today, tomorrow, and Wednesday is part of the week that's sort of sandwiched, if you will, between Palm Sunday and Easter Sunday. But we are not celebrating, or we are not being quiet and mindful perhaps as much on certain days as on other days. So Palm Sunday was yesterday. I actually was listening to church services on the television. I actually watched the Pope say Mass at St. Peter's Basilica. It was a beautiful, very touching service. I'm glad I was able to watch with my family. On Thursday, this Thursday, before Easter, known as Maundy Thursday or Holy Thursday sometimes. Maundy actually means, derived from the Latin word command, and refers to Jesus' commandment to his disciples to love one another as I have loved you. So that's what Maundy really means. It doesn't mean that we eat bread. I don't know why bread is shown there, but I guess it also has to do with the Last Supper. That idea that we're about to go into a very holy season. Good Friday, as many of you know, is commemorated as the day that Jesus died. And we wait for, as Christians, we wait for the coming of Jesus, or resurrection, on Easter Sunday. So Saturday is actually very, very sad. It's a time where many believers sort of go into that dark period. It's when Jesus basically is dead and we don't know what's going to happen. And then finally on Easter Sunday, we celebrate his resurrection, his return from the dead. Now, many of you are not Catholics and many of you are not Christians. And I'm telling you my religious tradition, because I want you to kind of be with me this week as I go through my week, and also maybe pray for me, because as a leader, it's interesting when I texted the Vision Driven Leader copy or the book title out to somebody, or one of the groups I belong to, somebody said, "Oh, you could have written that book." As a leader, I try to step out all the time and be in front of you. But there are times also when I need to step back and I need to gather my resources and strengthen myself. And this is one of the weeks where I'm going to be doing that. So if you don't see me online, certainly on Friday and Saturday, you know why. This is a time of contemplation, of mental rest. And this is the time that, I'm going to be rejuvenating myself. Okay, so what happens this week? Palm Sunday, we were at services. Usually we would be getting live palm branches, but we did not. On Maundy Thursday, sometimes we observe something that's called the washing of the feet. We actually clean our churches and everything. We have an overnight prayer visual. Oh, hello. Good Friday is our solemn day of observation. Holy Saturday is as well. And then finally, we are celebrating on Easter Sunday. So I'm asking you, if you could, to pray for me and my family, to keep us in your thoughts and prayers. And if you are celebrating, I wish you a very happy season. So from my house to yours, happy Easter. Okay. I'm going to stop the share. And let's also manage the participants. Oops. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to be giving away 2 books. I'm going into the chat. I want to see if there's any questions. Okay, so, wow, yes, I set up Angel says, wow, I set up my background. Yes. Okay, so tell me in the chat, what do you think of the background? Good, not so good? I tried to wear a blue shirt today because I thought it would be good contrast. I have a crazy bun on the top of my head. I'm trying alternately to put my hair up and put my hair down. I don't know if this was a good choice or not. So Debbie asked, so tell me in the chat, yes, I like it, or no, I'm not crazy about it. We'll see. We can always change the background. That's the cool thing about it. Debbie wants to know, interested in the diffuser I mentioned next to my kitchen sink. Yes, it's about the size. I actually have an Easter egg here. Isn't this cute? It's actually made of ceramic. I have this for my house, but it's about as big as this Easter egg, which is about the size of a soda can, more or less, if you can think of the size of a soda can. And you just kind of twist off the top and put water in it. And I've been using mine like crazy. They're pretty inexpensive. I'll see if I can post them online for everybody so you can take a look at them. Angel says something's sold out in Malaysia, but I'm not sure what that is. Precious Florals is already sold out in Asia. Oh, okay. So the other thing you can do is you can try to look on the US website and still see if it's still available. Okay, the book, what are you thinking? Yes, you like the book? Background can be better, but outfit is very nice. Oh, thank you, Amelia. That's really nice. Okay, so I actually have a surprise for you. So I'm going to be giving you the Vision Driven Leader. And then we're going to be doing probably a special workshop on the Vision Driven Leader over the next few weeks. So if you wind up getting a copy today, that's terrific. If you don't wind up getting a copy in the next couple of days, or you don't wind up winning a copy today, rather. You don't wind up winning a copy today, maybe you want to take the chance to look online and get an Audible copy or borrow one from your library. Now, I know you can't go into libraries right now, but I have been able to get a lot of things through interlibrary online systems that I can download right to my phone that are completely free. So thank you, Ella. I'm glad you like the I'm glad you like the background. Thank you. I think you like the blue blouse. Blouse, I don't know if you can see everybody, but it has crazy sleeves. So I'm trying to do a little thing here. Valerie says, nature leaves good for the eyes. Okay. And then Agatha likes the green background. Okay, so we'll see. We can experiment with other backgrounds. If nobody's loving this, we can take a vote later on. But in the meantime, I hope you're enjoying the background. So I've talked so long. I'm not going to talk any longer. If you want to tell me anything, did you like, how about this? Last thing I'm going to ask you, did you like the message at the end? Do you feel that it was helpful for you? Our message of hope. Was the message of hope helpful for you? Let me know in the chat. Yes. Okay. Swambi says yes. Angel says yes. Danielle says yes. Cynthia says indeed. Leilang says yes. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad. Ella says yes. Sure. Our central family says yes. Mara says yes. Good for discernment. Okay. Danielle says, okay. Another Danielle, different Danielle. Amelia says yes. Darren says yes. Elizabeth says yes. Okay. I am going to be talking about that message and expanding that message. Quinby says, love the message, inspiring and full of hope. Agatha says yes. Debbie says yes. Megan says yes. Okay, thank you, my friends. Ira says yes. Benjamin says yes. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, my friends. I am going to be talking about this. I've actually, doTERRA has contacted me a couple of times. So I'm going to be giving this and a similar message about finances, about getting real with people, really sitting, can't literally sit knee to knee with them right now because we just can't, but just getting straight with them and looking in their eyes and saying, hey, can I help you? Can I sponsor you? Can I do something to help you or your family? This will come back to you, my friends. You will reap what you sow. So I am encouraging you, don't sit in your house and wait for this to all blow over. This is the time for you to step out in leadership, and I know that you can do it. Okay, so let me pick my winners. I'm super excited today. Josephine says yes. Very thoughtful for the background. Okay, thank you, Josephine. Okay, so our winners of the book, Vision Driven Leader. Remember, I have to mail it to you. So if you're outside of the United States, things have been, Valerie says also yes. It may take a little bit longer. So I have some very good news that the oil box that I sent to Singapore for prizes arrived finally. It took a little bit longer than yesterday, but it arrived. It wasn't stuck in customs or anything. So that was really cool. So we do have prizes for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be back here again on Monday to talk with all of you, which is terrific. That'll be Easter Monday, but we'll have a lot of good things. I hope that you are all feeling like you're ready to exercise your leadership muscle, because this is really the time. So last but not least, I'm going to ask you one last question. Who here on this call is a reader? So text me in the chat. Are you a reader? Danielle says yes. Okay, I am. Angel says yes. Wimby says me. Quinby, yep. Agatha. Danielle says no. Okay. Benjamin says me. Okay. Our essential family says yes. Ella says yes. Leilang says yes. Mara says yes. Elizabeth Ho says yes. Great. Megan says yes. Luke says yes. Ike says yes. Josephine. Debbie. Reader or leader? Oh, reader. Are you a big reader? Some people say, nah, I hate books. I can't even do it. Amelia says, laugh out loud. Susan says, yes, of course, and love the words. Teresa says, it's a perfect time to read. Luke says, yes. Sihan says, me. Govinda Rasu says yes. Lynette says yes. Antoinette says yes. Amelia says yes. Oh, I'm so glad I hear from so many readers. That's so good. That's what I wanted to hear. So, okay. Give me a second.
Me.
Okay. Someone saying me. That's terrific. I can hear you. Okay, and our winners today. Our winners today of the book, The Vision Driven Leader, are Benjamin Liu and Suan B. Congratulations, Benjamin Liu and Suan B. You'll be getting a copy of our book. I got to mail it out. I hope you get it soon. I hope it's not stopped anyone, but have a wonderful week. For all of you celebrating happy Easter, and I will see you back here next Monday. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye now.